So I figured I would do a video. My daughter's over at the neighbor girl's house playing. And I thought I would have like this massive motivation to like work out, but I don't. Monday is D-Day, Death Day. I know that's not probably the most appropriate name, but fuck it. That's how I look at it. Um, I'm depressed. I went in my office this morning. I cried on the way into work, which I pretty much do every fucking day now. And cried inside my office, just cried and cried and cried and cried. It's weird. It's so weird to try to explain shit to people. Like I don't even know how to do it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it, you know? And it's like I think about 2 years ago and I knew we were on borrowed time, you know? I knew it was coming. You know, and that notion of like what day is going to be his last day. And now obviously I fucking know, but just thinking about all the emotions that I was going through and getting to the point that I just wanted him to die because I couldn't take it, you know? Couldn't take it. It's a horrible place to be in. You know, loving somebody so much you don't want to lose them. But watching them suffer makes you suffer. And I'm so grateful I don't have to watch that. Like I don't regret anything that I did. I don't at all. But I like literally I hope like I never, oh god, I never have to watch that again. Like seriously. You know, it's funny to me. I was like telling a friend, I'm like, when I've done the online dating thing, which I'm fucking done doing. I am not doing online dating ever again. In fact, I think I'm perfectly happy at this point being fucking single because you men don't know what in the fuck you want. But anyways, I don't even remember what the fuck I was saying. Fuck, what the fuck was I saying? Damn it, I hate when that happens. But just like the emotions of like, oh, I know what I was going to say. Like trying to explain to somebody like that you can still love your husband. Like I still love the guy and I just don't see how that's going to change. And I feel like I'm like scared to like tell people that, or not scared, but like it's so awkward dating for that reason, you know, and like this acceptance. And I feel like they don't accept it, or, you know, and I know everyone's like, oh, the right guy will fucking accept it, blah, 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 blah. Like, I get it. Like, I get it. But you don't know how incredibly awkward it is for me. Like, when do you say it? How do you lay it out? Do I just lie and say I'm divorced? Because sometimes I think that would be fucking easier. And I think dating a widow is like, oh, not that bad until you get into it, right? But it's so awkward and the stress from like 2 years ago, like I can't even explain it to you guys. Like I think about that all the time, like the weight of the fucking stress of taking care of him and the shit that I did. I can't even, unless you've taken care of a terminally ill person, you have no idea what it's like. Like it's so, like you don't have time to process what you're doing, right? And until after it's like all done. So the fact that like I had to, you know, he had a PICC line. I have to fucking clean that, which I was always terrified to do because God, they tell you, like, if you don't do it the right way and all this shit, he can get an infection. He can fucking die. So, like, I would always tell him, I'm like the one patch on the port is his port because of some of the side effects of the transplant, the second transplant, like his skin peeled real bad and so stuff wouldn't stick. And I get like super paranoid because I was like, I don't want to fucking change that thing because I don't want to be responsible for it getting an infection. And I would tell him all the time, I'm like, that shit falls off, we're going straight to the hospital. Somebody else can change that because I'm not changing it, you know? So there was like that stress of like, what if I kill the guy? You know what I mean? Then there was the stress of like having to administer, like he had like IV stuff at the house. So like having to do that and making sure you're timing it out and like giving him his meds. And I would have a running list of when I gave it to him and what needed to be done and what was discontinued. Then at the end, let's just be honest, because I'm sure all of you have probably thought it, but let me just put it out there. Yes, I was changing his diapers. And yes, that was fucking humiliating for him and fucking horrible to watch him be humiliated. It wasn't like horrible in the sense of like, oh, I got to do this. It was horrible in the sense because it was humiliating to him, you know, and made him feel like less of a man. And that's the shit that like, you know, that's what I think of like 2 years ago, just that fucking stress. It was, I can't even, like those of you that have kids and you bring home a new baby and it's super fucking stressful, that fucking doesn't even compare to taking care of a terminally ill spouse. That was fucking, I never want to do that again. So what's hard, I know what I was going to say earlier. What's hard for me is that I have become more selective in the men that I date. And part of it is Rob did not take good care of himself. Like, aside from the cancer he got, which really had nothing to do with smoking, there's actually, if you look up multiple myeloma, there's no data that supports that smoking is one of the cancers that, like, multiple myeloma isn't caused by smoking. I'm sure it didn't fucking help. I'm sure of that. But it wasn't the cause, right? And so like when I've done the online dating thing, I have been very specific. Like I am not dating somebody who doesn't take care of himself. I will not date a fucking smoker again. I'm not doing that. I love my husband to pieces, but I ain't fucking doing that again. And I'm not dating somebody like fucking 15 years older than me. I'm not doing that. And I'm not dating somebody that doesn't like eat healthy and shit. Like, yes, I know I can't prevent death. I can't, and I could get married or be a partner to somebody again and they could get some other terminal illness. If that fucking happens and I got to do this again, I tell you, I fucking have earned my rings with the first fucker. Sorry, Rob. I earned my wings with the first husband. I fucking definitely would earn it a second time if I had to do that again, which hopefully I won't. But what I'm saying is like, you know, I know like I've come off as superficial on these dating sites because I've been very specific about that. Like, obviously I don't say, well, I'm widowed and I take care of a terminally ill spouse, but like literally I have been called a superficial cunt. Yes, that's what we're dealing with here. I've been called a bitch. I've been called an ugly person. Like, and you know, it's always funny to me, and this is why his death has changed me so much and made me so much less judgmental, is because you never know what happens to somebody that causes them to be the way they are. Probably if I were reading like when I was on a dating site, which has been months now, if I were reading that, I would probably think, oh my God, she's so superficial. I don't think that anymore. I don't think, I used to be one that like somebody is cheating on their spouse and oh, they're a piece of shit and blah, blah, blah. I don't think that anymore. I really don't, because you never know what goes on behind closed doors. You never know what somebody's going through. You don't. And if you want to know why I think I'm a better therapist at this point, it's that reason right there. Not that I wasn't before, but I'm so less judgmental because I have been so judged as a widow. It is the most judged I've ever been. I would love for you guys, with the exception of my widowed buddies on here, I would love for most of you to be able to see these grief online blogs that I like, the support blogs that I'm on, because it's the same recurrent complaints, the same complaints that I've complained to you about. The shit that dumb shit people say. I would say one of the top ones is what I complained about the other day: be alone and happy, or you need to be alone for a certain period of time. That's a huge complaint among the widows and widowers. Let's see, what else is a complaint? Dating is a complaint, feeling misunderstood, people telling you how to parent your fucking kid. I don't know why when you're a widow or a widower, somehow people think they have the right to tell you what the fuck to do with your kid. Fuck you. Have you been through it? No. Shut your mouth. And somehow, like, too, that's the other thing with dating. Somehow when you're a widow or widower, it's like you just need to be happy with whatever is put on your fucking lap. Like, hey, I hate to tell you this, I need to be physically attracted to you in some fashion. Now, you may not like it, but if you ask me why I'm not messaging you back, that happened to me too. I will tell you, I am not physically attracted to you. Or, you seem like a fucking psycho. I will tell you that. They don't like that. But somehow, like, you're widowed and you should take the shit that's given to you. You shouldn't have any standards because you lost your spouse. And I don't know what it is. Like, somehow we are just such a judged community. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm part of the widowed community. And you are so judged. And I don't understand why. And this is why I have been so vocal about it. Like on Facebook, and I know people have been like, wow, why does she say all this? Why does she flip out? Because let me tell you something. All you gotta do is be on these widowed blogs. People are scared to open their mouth, and we shouldn't be. We have just gone through a profound loss. Why should we be scared? Like, I shouldn't be scared to say, you know what? I want to fall in love, and I'm still going to love my husband, and I still know that I can fall in love. And there's different kinds of love, and I don't expect somebody to be him, not at all. And I want that, and I shouldn't be afraid to say that. But you know what? Many of us are. Many of us are afraid to say it. Many of us are afraid to open our mouths when some people say stupid shit like, he would want you to be happy. You need to move on. He's with God now. You know, like, and I know people don't say it on purpose. And I know for those of you that have said some of this stuff, I'm not angry at you. I'm really, really not. But I want people to learn from it because the shit hurts. And I'm telling you right now, once you become widowed, I kid you not, like the shit that used to hurt you, you think it hurts now? If you lose your spouse, it hurts 10 times more. When I get dumped or rejected or a friendship doesn't work out or whatever, it hurts a lot more. It makes me sad a lot more. Like, it's worse. I don't know why that is, but it's worse. And that's why I become so vocal, because I feel that we shouldn't have to go through this. And young widows, we're even more like closely judged. You know, I've had people say the opposite of what they've said to me, which is, you know, you know, I date too soon. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do that. You can't force it, blah, 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 blah. There's people that haven't dated in 3 years and people are saying to them, you need to move on. You know what? Screw off. Unless you're in that person's shoes, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. It hurts. Don't call us crazy. Don't call us psycho. When we have a bad day, when we go off, you have no idea what could have triggered us. You have zero idea. We go in a room for a party and we start talking about our dead spouse. Don't fucking walk away. Don't change the subject. I don't care if it's the most uncomfortable topic you hear. That is your shit. You shouldn't do that. That is so, I can't tell you how disrespectful that is. And I've had it happen to me so many times. Just let us talk. You sit there, you be uncomfortable. Just deal with it, because that's what people don't realize is this awkwardness that comes with the grief, that it's actually not our awkwardness. We don't feel awkward about it. I mean, sometimes we do, but usually we feel awkward because you're acting awkward. And then you know how weird it is? Like, I've had it where I've been at somebody's house, I've said something, it's like they didn't even hear me and they completely changed the subject. That's rude. That's rude. That is fucking rude. Sorry. One of the things that I absolutely love about my husband's two best friends is they have talked to Victoria about her dad. I get so angry when people won't do it. Rob's dad's side of the family, they don't fucking talk about him. And it pisses me off. And I'm so tired of people saying, oh, it's because it's hard for them. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Get over it. You know, I've asked you to talk to my daughter, who was 4 when her dad died. I promised Rob. That's the thing that people don't realize. I promised him I would make sure, I would do everything in my power to make sure that Victoria remembered him. So when you won't do it, when people won't talk to her about him, when they refuse, just remember that's what he was worried about. He was worried about our daughter remembering him. That was his fear. So it literally makes me so angry when people won't do it. They won't say his name. Shut up, Joey. You know? And it just makes me angry. You know? And it's just funny how things change. Like, I love my dogs, and I've said this a couple of times. I can't wait till they fucking die. And I feel horrible. Like, part of me feels horrible, but they're a huge pain in my ass now. I have to take care of them. They're getting old. They, you know, and it's another headache for me. When these two go, I'm done. I'm done with animals. I'm done. You know, I love my dogs, but even I feel very detached from that. The only thing that I feel very attached to at this point in my life is my daughter and the people that were there for me, or the people that have walked in my life. And I'm grateful for everything, even the things that didn't work out. Every single thing has taught me a lesson. Every single thing. Every guy that's walked in, every guy that's walked out, every friend that's come in, every friend that's walked out, all the family that fucked us over, and then the family that has been our rocks. Like, I'm thankful for all of it. I really am. I know I'm going off on this video, but it's because I feel so passionately about breaking this stigma, because there is. I can't tell. I never, ever, ever in my wildest dreams expected so much judgment and so much advice giving, as if I'm 5 and I need to be told what to do, you know, like, and it's even harder for me because I've always been like headstrong and I do my own thing. And, you know, I was confused and lost and all of this shit. And I just wanted, you know, honestly, 95% of the time when I'm having a bad day, I just want you to fucking hug me. Fucking hug me. That's what I want you to do. You know, and if you knew him, it would be really wonderful to say, man, this sucks. I miss him too. Like, keep it simple, stupid. It's not that hard, you know? But I'm not going to stop talking about it till the day I fucking die. Because if I can help somebody else, that's honestly what's helped me, is helping other widows not have to go through this, you know? I mean, they will go through it, but I'm saying, like, that's what's helped me, is literally meeting with other widows, or widows that have text me and say, does this get better? And, you know, to be able to say to them that better isn't the word, it's adjusted. Like, I'm happy where, you know, that's the thing, is like when people say that you know, you need to be alone and happy. I want you to step back from my perspective, okay, for just a second. I am happy with a lot of things. I love my job. Like right now is the happiest I've been at an employer in a very long time. I'm so passionate about what I'm doing. I love it. I love going to work. I look forward to going to work. Can't believe I'm saying that. Um I like my house. I love my house. It's a nice fucking house. I got a nice fucking house. I worked hard for this, and guess what? My husband worked really hard and did some things so that I could afford this house. And I'm so grateful to him. Um I also physically I'm in the best shape I've ever been. Best shape. And I worked hard and I'm rocking a two-piece bathing suit this summer like I did last summer, and I feel good about that. Um I love my kid. My kid's happy. Yeah, she has her bad days, but she's a happy kid. She's a good kid. She's a smart kid. You know? Like, I don't know why people assume that when I say I'm lonely or I want someone that that means like there's like something like wrong with me. And widows and widowers get this shit all the time. And I just want you to know, for those of you that haven't gone through it, how incredibly painful that is. You're you're hurting us. You're hurting me when you say it. You're hurting other widows and widowers. And I want you to hear that, you know? And I want you to be able to know that so that when you come across another person in my situation, and you will, it might take a minute, but you will, now you'll remember this, you know, and you'll say, you know what, I know somebody, I hope any of you watching this, I hope to God that if you know somebody that goes through a similar situation, message me, because I want to help. Is what has saved me and helped me. I don't want, if I can help somebody feel that much better, it makes what I've gone through, like, it gives it meaning, and that's what's helped, you know. That's what's helped me. And knowing that, like, I've had some of you tell me, like, you know, I never thought about this. I'm not going to do that anymore. I know what to say. Like, I'm glad, because people don't know what to say. I wouldn't have known what to say. You know, I never, you know, I can remember somebody on this blog who lost her son. I didn't know what the fuck to say. No, that was like 20 years ago. I didn't know what to say. You know what? Now I know. There's nothing I can say. There is nothing I can say to this day that's going to make that woman feel, oh, I feel better. So just throw that out the window. You're not going to say anything to me or any other widow that's going to make us like, oh, I magically feel better. Nothing. Nothing's going to make us feel better. We're still going to be sad. We're still going to have shit days. Just give me a hug, or ask if you can give me a hug and say, I want you to know I'm thinking of you. It's the best thing you can do. That feels pretty damn good on a really bad day. That's what feels good. I don't know. I just want to help people. Honestly, like, that's where I'm at. I just want to help people so that if one person can go through way less shit than I've been through in 2 years as a widow, then I've done something. I've done my part. I've done my part.